Yo, what is up guys, my name is Illusive, and today we're going to be talking about a couple of Mage builds that you can have for ArcheAge Unchained. Now I'm staying true to my other builds where it's around 9 to 10k gear score. Now I could do it to 13k or whatever, or 14k, 12k, but I think this is a more like not intimidating gear score for the newer people. They don't see a bunch of mythics and legendaries, and this is just kind of an average gear score that will be after, you know, months of playtime. So that's why I keep it around here for anyone who wonders why I just have it around 10k with T2 Haram. But let's get into the video. This is mostly for the instant cast time mages like Fnatic, Reaper, Revenant, Sceptre, and then there was one more, Spellsinger. That's what it is. So all those kind of instant cast time mages that do tons of burst damage, this is mostly what it is for. Now you're going to be seeing cloth in here for all the builds, but you can easily interchange these into plate by just changing one skill, which all you have to do is change melee damage reduction and a magic damage reduction. Now let's get into this. For the hood, you're going to want to put magic critical rate gems in there just to have that little more magic crit rate to help you out. And then you want to have intelligence, melee damage reduction, and resilience in there. And right here with the melee damage reduction, intelligence, and resilience, it's mostly going to be for most of the pieces. For the chest piece, you're going to want to socket it out with resilience gems. Fill it out with intelligence for the stats, and then melee damage reduction and resilience. Now for the belt, you're going to want magic attack gems in there with intelligence, movement speed, and toughness. Now you could always change the movement speed into something like focus if you really want to, but I think the movement speed is just going to help out much more. And same thing for the sleeves. You're going to want intelligence, move speed, and toughness with magic attack gems in there. Now obviously the best slot gems that you want to go for in there is the escape gems, but it's going to be a little bit before anyone can get those. They're pretty high tier gems, so that's why if any of you are wondering why aren't the escape gems in there, I'm just doing kind of basic gems that everyone can go for the new players. They can look at, and then they can see that instead of, you know, not what the hell are escape gems. So that was something to be later on. So you can always change the magic attack gems. Actually, you want to change out the magic attack gems for escape gems later on. If you don't know what escape gems are, it's not that big of a problem. That's fine. And I forgot to do these. But okay, so for the gloves, you are going to want to do... It'll let me socket them. Gloves. Okay, there we go. So you are going to want to socket these out with ranged attack, and then for the stats, you guessed it, melee damage reduction, intelligence, and resilience. So that's mostly what you want on these pieces. The only thing different are the sleeves and the belt, really, with the stats. Now for the pants, you're going to want toughness gem socketed out in it with intelligence, melee damage reduction, and resilience. For the boots, you're going to want resilience, intelligence, melee damage reduction, and resilience, or intelligence, melee damage reduction, and resilience. Now you can socket these out with movement speed gems if you really want to. Personally, I don't think it's going to be worth the loss of the resilience, but that is something that you can do. Now for the underwear, you're going to want to socket it out with the attack speed, and then melee damage reduction, resilience, toughness, and magic attack. Now probably some of you are wondering, why are you putting attack speed on a mage? Well, with mages like Banesong, Fnatic, Sceptre, the ones that are instant cast mages, they're not really worried about cast time. They're more worried about global cooldowns, and how you reduce global cooldowns is with attack speed. So if you have, let's say the Ancestral Fireball, the lightning one, where whenever you can just cast it like it's an instant cast. The only thing is that it's the global cooldown in between them that you're dealing with. So if you backdrop and then just spam however fast you can spam the key that's binded to, then you will fire depending on your global cooldown. So I probably explained that poorly. So with the fireballs and the ancestral, you can backdrop, fire as many as you can, but the only thing is that's stopping you is the global cooldown. So the shorter the global cooldown, more fireballs you can cast. Now with the necklace, you're going to want a wave necklace or the Arceum Knight necklace. Personally, I think the wave necklace is going to help with doing a little bit more damage to the cloth wearers. So that's one thing. And then the Noriette earrings are going to want intelligence and evasion on them. The evasion's just going to help a little bit whenever you go against archers, because the front attacks of the arrows. So you're going to want that on both your Noriette. Now, you can go for the dream ring here. I chose the Unister ring because there's really not much point going for the dream ring as a mage. It's like an archer. There's really not much point for the extra work you have to do for like 0.5% more stats. Now, if you're trying to min-max, then go ahead and get the dream ring if you want to, but I just don't think it's worth it. Now for the ring, the second ring, you're going to want a life ring to increase your skill damage. For the main hand, you're going to want a Sceptre, socketed out with spell critical damage, intelligence, attack speed, and magic crit damage. For the offhand, it doesn't really matter too much, but I would suggest like a katana or a dagger, and you want it socketed out with spell critical damage, and then intelligence, attack speed, and magic critical damage. Now for the bow, same thing, socketed out with spell critical damage, intelligence, and attack speed, and magical critical damage. For the flute, you're going to want attack speed in there with intelligence, magic attack, and more movement speed. Now, mostly the stats on everything else are going to stay the same, unless like you go play and you want to change out the melee damage reduction to magic damage reduction. But for the second build, this is a two-handed build, so mostly what you want to do is just, if you want a staff, you can have both those two and then just change out it for a staff. Now, personally, if you're going a staff, probably Reaper and Revenant and Spellsinger are the best for that. Now, you can't do it with Fnatic and Banesong and everything, but the dual wield attack speed is just going to help you. It's 10% attack speed that you're, like, from these two builds, you're getting 10% less attack speed, or 10% more, I guess. So it's a pretty big difference. But if you want this, obviously, all you gotta do is sock it out with spell critical damage, intelligence, attack speed, and magical critical damage. Everything else is the same, but that's mostly what you just want to do. Now for the next one is, I personally would always recommend having a shield offhand to put in just in case if you're getting too bursted. But all you want to do is, you'll still have the Sceptre from the main build, so that would be spell critical damage, intelligence, attack speed, and magical critical damage. And then for the offhand for your shield, you'll just want the... Okay, I chose the wrong shield, but what you'll want is the physical damage, or the physical defense shield. That's the one that you want. Don't get the magic defense like I just put there. So you will want that, and then there's a couple of things you can do here. You can put more range attack if that's what you want. You can put defense gems if you want. You can put shield block rate. Personally, what I would suggest is the defense gems. And then you want to sock it out, or stats wise, you want intelligence, not range attack, magic attack. No, that's not magic attack. There we go. And probably evasion or movement speed, which I'm not seeing here now, or shield block rate. Shield block rate is pretty good too, so you can do that. And then that would be something that you can switch to your offhand to whenever you need that little extra defense. As you can see, it gives a pretty good buff of defense. But that's mostly it, guys. Like I said, there's not much variation between here, and honestly, if you farm, you know, enough and you feel like you want to, you can have all three of these variants. You can have a staff, you can have a scepter and a dagger, and then you can also have a shield, and you switch out to whatever you want to do. Personally, if I was playing Mage, that's what I would do. Just have different weapon types for different situations. But other than that, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching. If you did enjoy the video, remember to hit the likes or the like button. Subscribe if you are enjoying the content and you want to see more ArcheAge Unchained content. I'm going to be doing tons more. I'm going to be streaming eventually once our Unchained is released. I'm going to be doing a video or two upload every day. I'm going to try to at least. And if I miss a day, I'll upload the next day, like 3 a day or something. I don't know, something like that. If you guys are wondering what the skill builds would look like, I'm going to be releasing a top 5 mages build for Unchained, or top 5 mage classes for Unchained. So subscribe, keep an eye out for that video if you're wondering what the skill builds will be and what the best mages class there will be for Unchained. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great day. Catch you in the next video.